Hey, how y'all doing? It's Sunday, December 29th, and this is Cancer Talk 5 or 6 or 4, I don't know. I'm going to think a name for this thing. You can see I'm looking a little ragged. I've basically been in bed for the last week and a half just because, well, I've been tired, I've been depressed. I've really had nothing else to do, but I've gotten a lot of stuff done, and I feel pretty good now. For a week, I didn't have my pain medicine, so that didn't help. I mean, I had like oxycodone, which is a 4-hour fast release, kind of for acute pain. I have chronic pain, and I finally got, has to do with insurance and different things, but I got my oxycontin again about a week ago. Yeah, it was on Monday. It was Monday. My sister was in town, and I had epidural injection, a spinal epidural injection, and I took a friend of mine, Deb, to her bone scan at the same place, same hospital. And my sister was in from Seattle, and my stepdad from the town I grew up in, and they took me to get my medicine since it's finally able to pick it up. So that stuff's all good. Uh, Christmas is not an easy time for a lot of people. It's just not. Um, so it was a trial for me, but in the end, it's just uh, I live off the love of friends and strangers both, and acquaintances. And but I consider, if you're watching this video, you're probably a friend of mine on Twitter, and I consider you a friend, and some of you really good friends. Um, in fact, if you're watching this video, you probably follow me on Twitter, so there's probably not a whole lot new I'm going to be telling you here. And I'm going to try to keep this video under 5 minutes, because last time, yeah, it was like 28 minutes or something. And I was going to call this the Christmas cancer talk, but it's the 29th, so we're past Christmas, but not quite to the new year. So I don't know. Things are going well. If you've, I'm working on some new cancer as art things for a show in Los Angeles. Um, it's for it's part of a bigger event, but this specific part of it is art, any kind of art by metastatic cancer patients, or if you want to consider us artists, metastatic patient artists. Um, the art itself doesn't have to be about cancer, but mine always is. Um, Maybe I'll talk about that before I go. So what I do, the NCI has a lot of public domain um, cancer-related art, or visuals, I guess they call it visuals online. Um, a lot of it that I use is shots from microscopes of just cancer, tumors, cells, whatever. And I gotta admit, just out of the box, that stuff, I've always, well, at least in cellular biology, I've always thought that just stuff is really, it's pretty already. It's uh, nice to look at. It's just amazing how horrible it is, but how beautiful it is. But so what I do, my whole concept, it's um, how is it, cathartic? Is that the word? It's a process I do. I take these images I find that are public domain, um, and I manipulate them with algorithms and software, that's available that I didn't write. It's getting more and more where I'm just looking to find software that has enough um, extensibility, or what's the word I'm looking for there? Stuff where I can adjust it. I'm not a don't want to go grab an app, but just use presets. Um, but I was thinking today, really, I really like the technical side of it, but I just think now I found some really good stuff that I'm using that I really like, and it fits my artistic um, mentality. So I use that a lot, just different things to manipulate these public domain images. And sometimes you can kind of tell, compared to the original image, you might see it, and sometimes they're just completely different. And it's a nice thing because I'm at 5 minutes, sorry, uh, but it's a nice thing because I can do what I want with it, and it may take me 30 minutes, it might take me 3 hours, whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, the whole idea is I take this process and I make my own art out of cancer. Uh, and that's pretty much it. So I'm hoping to work on some of that today because actually I think I have to have the submission in by tomorrow. And they were willing to take anything I already have, but I want to do some new stuff. It's been a while. And it's nice to, I'm not going to look at my old setup. I mean, I have pretty much the same software, but I generally document a lot of what I do so I can remember it. But part of how I am as an artist is I don't like to repeat myself a whole lot or get into a thing. And it wasn't until I really got into art and music that I understood, like I'd have an artist or a musician or a band. God, the first two albums were so awesome, and then they got different, and I hated it. But then, if you look at it from being an artist, you just can't do the same. I can't. I'm not going to go out and tour playing a hit song or whatever. Doing the same thing with art. I'm just not going to do it. So, even though I have all those old, I think. I'm sorry, I can't think of the photographer. But I know he was Adam Ansel, or Ansel Adams. There, I got it, dug it out. Ansel Adams, he, as I remember, was a real heavy documenter of everything he did, and his settings and the time of day and everything. He just, so he could, it makes it repeatable. But I don't want to repeat necessarily, so I'm going to try some new stuff, and that's what I'm excited about. And tomorrow's Monday. I generally would still be off, but I didn't have enough vacation days, thanks cancer. So I'm going to work tomorrow, full day and a half day New Year's Eve. But I think I'll tell you about it later. But I'm going to go to lunch with a friend of mine, not my friend Sir Tim. So I may have to not fork out. I have a little reserve. I'll tell you about it later. If it just depends what happens. But I'm looking forward to that. It's hanging out with friends that I don't really get to hang out with alone as much as I'd like. So, we work together and we're both busy. So, yeah, just a friend. And that's about it. I'm up to 8 minutes, and I promised. No, actually, I think I promised under 10, not under 5. But regardless, I'm going to call it a session. I hope you all had a good Christmas or whatever it is you celebrate. And I go and name everything off, but it's just easier to say. I hope you had a happy everything, and I hope you have a good New Year. I'll try to do another one of these. Maybe New Year's Day, maybe New Year's Eve, I don't know. I just want to know if you're watching this. I really appreciate it. And, yeah, I'm going to try to bring some new things to this experiment I'm doing here, these videos. I'd like to show things and what I'm working on, and just, I'd like some interaction. That'd be cool. So send me questions. If I ever figure this out, maybe I can have a guest interview or something. I'm thinking about doing a podcast. Somehow I want to do this, but for now this is just informal and well, you're seeing the real me. So that's cool. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day. I hope you all have had a good holiday so far. If you haven't, I understand, but I hope it gets better. And if you have, that's awesome. And I'd like to thank just all of you. So, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel or whatever it is, a YouTube thing. I'm really a technical person, but some things I've never done before. So, doing a YouTube thing I've never done. So, okay, we're at 10 minutes. So, see you all later. Thank you for being a friend. Peace.